Okay, welcome back. The next fly we'll tie up is going to be the Chernobyl ant. A lot of different ways you can tie this fly. If you look it up on the internet, you'll see you probably won't see the exact same fly twice. Tons of different colors you can tie it in, different techniques, but they all accomplish basically the same thing. And this fly is tied. The way that I'm going to tie it today is with foam and rubber legs. And for some reason, fish love this fly, and you wouldn't think with just foam and rubber that it would look that fishy, but it actually looks really fishy. So we'll go ahead and tie it up. We're tying this on a size, I believe I have a size 8 dry fly hook. So it's a fairly decent size hook. And these things, the good thing about these flies is they're usually indestructible. After you catch a few fish, you'll get some teeth marks in your foam. Your rubber legs might get torn up a little bit, but other than that, they're pretty durable flies. So we're going to start off, we're going to take our brown thread and we're going to wind it all the way to the back. This is where we'll start our fly. And what I've done before getting ready to tie this fly is I've prepared both pieces of my foam. In this case, I'm using one piece of tan foam, that'll be the bottom piece, and one piece of brown foam. And as you can see, they actually make foam cutters. For some reason I haven't bought any yet, probably because I'm too cheap, so I just cut them by myself. So this is the shape, this is kind of the shape that you're looking for. It actually would look like this because the skinny end is going to go to the back and then the fatter end is going to go to the top. So all you do is you cut a rectangle out of your foam, trim the top at an angle, and then trim the back one at a little slighter of an angle. So like I said, the first fly that we'll tie down will be the bottom, and that's going to be our tan foam. So I'm going to lay it down. We want a little bit hanging over the eye of the hook, and we're just going to make a few wraps, and with each wrap I don't know if you can tell, but I'm cinching down about as tight as I could go. Then we're going to come under, we're going to move the thread forward probably about 1/4 of an inch and do the same thing. Move the thread forward, and you're trying to keep these as close to the same size as you can. And the last one will be behind the eye. And we're wrapping down very tight. And I'll try to show you what this looks like from the top so that you get an idea of the segmentation that you're looking for. And that's what it looks like from the bottom. Alright, so now we need to take our thread and we're going to bring it to the back, and to do that we're going to have to go back over this foam, and I'm going to go over the top of the segmentation that I made because the fish aren't going to see that. So we're trying not to change the look of the bottom of the fly at all, and just go over the top. Okay, now we take our brown piece of foam and start at the back, and the same thing. Pull it down, and at this point we're going to tie in our first strike indicator, or our first indicator, and our rubber legs. So we've got another piece of foam. This time we're using yellow so that we can see it. A little piece of yellow foam. I'm just going to lay that down on top and pull down. First rubber leg, start on one side, couple wraps to hold it there, come on the other side, pretty good. Okay, and then one couple wraps to tie them down well. And now we're going to take the thread, we're going to bring it up. And again, we're doing the same thing. We're going through on the upper. I'll show you what that'll look like down inside. Should look about like that. And it hasn't changed. We haven't affected the profile of the bottom at all, which is why we do that. And come up to the top. Okay, so there's, now we're going to do the same thing that we just got done doing in the back. Tie down the indicator first, and you always want to remember to put these indicators in, because this fly actually can be difficult to see on the water if you don't have something with some color to it. And same thing with the rubber legs. There's one side. And the other side. Okay, now we can whip finish it. Whip finishing is a little bit tricky. Just got to make sure that you're going in the right spot. I'll slip a couple in on this one. Alright, there we go. Of course, when you get done, add in your head cement. And I'm going to trim, these legs are a little bit long. I'm going to go ahead and trim a little bit off each of them. And this is an awesome fly. If you haven't fished it before, you can fish it to represent big stone flies, salmon flies, hoppers, and you can vary the color. You can change it up. You can add a lot of different things to it to kind of match whatever species or whatever insect you're actually trying to represent. Sometimes it just looks buggy enough that I don't even know if the fish really care what it looks like, but it looks like something that they probably should be eating, so they hit it. Go ahead and give you a look at what this thing is going to look like from the sides. And get an idea of what the bottom of that looks like, the profile. And there we go. The only problem that I had on this one is that my front legs didn't split very well, and sometimes just because of the foam it's hard to get them to separate, but it'll still catch fish, I guarantee you that. That is the Chernobyl ant.